What's up, Juju? Mr. Catan. Oh, these are the first words I've spoken today. What's on my shoulder? What's a hole? Okay. Yeah, sorry the timing's a little bit weird today. This might be a European favored timing. Woke up and decided to stream. Catching a stream before your ichthyology class. Hope your ichthyology class goes well. How's everybody doing?
Poggers.
Thank you, Aram. 5 months, goddamn. 10:38 p.m. Wow. 11 hours, or no, 13 hours ahead. That has to be like Malaysia, China, maybe Japan. Oh, I guess it could be Australia. Had to call out of work this morning. Now I get to catch my first fish guy stream. I wish I could I could call out of work. I'm not feeling too great right now. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of Tetra streams lately, so I had to specify that today is a fish stream, not a Tetra stream. I mean, I might do Tetris after. We'll see. I don't want to talk too much because my throat feels a bit sore, so probably just do my job, and then go take care of myself, you know. So I don't want to overdo it. So what are we doing? We're reacting. I got home last night, so I spent the whole weekend out recording an AVNJ's adventure. And I got home last night and I said, okay, now I have to stream because I need to release a video. But I was so tired. I was like, I do not have the energy to edit that video. I do not have the energy to go live. If I go live and try to react to something right now, it's going to be awful. So I decided not to. So we're just doing reacts today, doing our job. I'm probably going to edit the AVNJ's adventures today as well. I'm not overworked. I mean, saying I was recording an AVNJ's adventures is not like, oh man, I was fucking doing difficult things. I mean, I was staying up all night catching fish, but like, you know, it's not like a tough job. But yeah, no, I hadn't slept super well over the weekend because if you don't know, a lot of fishing is much better at night with a dip net, at least, because fish come into the shallows. So for that type of thing, I had to wait till nighttime. All right. Let us watch some reacts, shall we? Its audio levels are doing the... How do you see the fish at night? I have a large headlamp on my head. You'll see, don't worry. I will probably edit that AVNJ's adventures today. That's my hope, at least. Alright, I need you guys to pick. Now, I have a pretty good sleep schedule. I just, on those days where I'm going to be night fishing, I just end up sleeping from like 2 to 10. Isn't there a lot of glare? No? Usually no glare. If the water's like has good clarity, that's the only thing that really limits you is the clarity of the water, because especially with the ocean, it can be very unclear. All right, I need you to pick a number 1 through 6, chat. I don't even think I can make 6 options on a poll. What bid first? 2, 3, 4. I can give you 5 options, so I'll take out the one that I don't want. Vote for a number in the poll, chat, and that'll be the video we react to. First, we're doing multiple. Is it just random? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, it's just get my own extreme wildlife show. I don't know what I would do on an I mean, if the show paid me to like travel the world and catch freshwater fish in crazy environments, yeah, fuck it, I'd do that. All right, it seems like the winner is number 4. Previews aren't loading. Oh, okay.
I'm Wicked Wombat.
All right. All right, our first react video of the day. Chat has voted on it. We are watching If You're Scared of Sharks, Don't Watch This Video, which I'm pretty sure is just a compilation of like close miss shark attack things, which is cool because I wanted to do this for a while. Shark Bites, my friend Christian, reacted to, I think it was like a compilation of near miss shark attacks and sort of explained why a lot of that stuff is not yeah, I don't know why there's a goat and a groundhog on screen. Don't worry about that for now. Explained why a lot of the things really aren't as dangerous as they seemed. So, there one pass on. Okay. All right. Let us begin, shall we?
I'm Wicked Wombat, and welcome to my channel.
Okay, so is that a wombat? I know I shouldn't overanalyze the intro. It's kind of hilarious that it's just CGI animals on top of... Oh, I see the one tuft of grass. Oh, I understand what you're talking about. Okay, we won't overanalyze the intro. We'll just watch the video, but also what the fuck was that? Why don't I do stuff like that? You want me to get an intro like that? You want me to like CGI some animals on screen here? I'll leave that up to my editor. He can either edit this part out so he doesn't have to do it, or he can do it.
Don't let that thing on this boat.
Cool. Is it a spinner shark? Have you guys ever seen spinner sharks? I don't think that's a spinner shark. Spinner sharks like spin more horizontally. That thing's just jumping out of the water, but spinner sharks go crazy, man. They jump into the end of the air out of the water and then go like a freaking dreidel, is that the word? I don't remember the word. That's a great white? That seems unlikely. It kind of looks like a blue shark.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's definitely not a great white. Look at how pointy the nose is.
Oh my god, is this really happening right
Cool
now,
though.
you guys?
A tiger shark comes out of nowhere and bites this fisherman's kayak.
Yeah, Mako makes more sense. Oh shit.
Tiger shark!
Tiger shark said, yummy kayak. I wonder if the kayak is white on the bottom. That's interesting. Yeah, he took a little nibble, decided it wasn't for him, and left. That's basically all shark attacks that actually occur are that kind of situation. Where the shark is like, what is that? Can I eat that? Nom. And then usually it's like a person. It's like, yeah, I don't really want to eat that. Okay, bye. That's why sharks usually only bite once. There are, you know, desperation type situations where a desperate shark can attack and try to actually eat you, but yeah. The way the diver moves backwards from the cage. Okay, bye.
A fisherman almost loses his catch to a great white.
Ooh. Cool. That's like the people fishing in Florida.
Ooh, fish stuff.
Ooh, fish stuff. Hey Zebtech, thank you. 25 months, what the hell? That's more than 2 years. What the hell? That does not feel like that has been that long. That's crazy. I need to update the sub badges. You have the 2-year sub badge, right? Is there like a 3-year or a 5-year sub badge? I really need to update the sub badges in general. I like drew them in paint one day. And I do like them, but I think I want to change them. You know what? I'm going to write that on my to-do. Hold on. Oh, and I can erase stream from my to-do because I'm streaming. I dropped my marker. Squiggles! Thank you, Squiggles. Wahoo! Cool. Congratulations on your catch. That reminds
A
me of someone I
hammerhead
work
is
with.
recorded heading straight for some swimmers at Miami Beach.
I feel like I've seen this video. Doesn't it just go around them? Yeah. The dangerous hammerhead shark heading straight for people in the water. What will he do? He's going directly at them. Oh, he noticed them and decided to go around them. Okay. Cool. He's just looking for stingrays to eat. That's his entire mission. Oh, jeez.
An adolescent great white gets
That's kind of
dangerously
your
close
fault.
to getting
He was on the line, right? I don't think you can really complain about that one. That's kind of your fault. You did
An
that.
adolescent great white gets dangerously close to getting inside this cage.
Why would you not build cages with the fact that there are smaller sharks in mind?
Hey, oh, he's on the boat. He's on the boat.
What do you mean he's on the boat? He tried to grab the food. Uh-oh. Torpor.
Is that normal? No.
If you don't know, when sharks get on their back, they can't really, like, do anything. It's not an instinct. I think it's actually like a physiological thing where when sharks are upside down, they just get stunned. There's a word for it. Tonic immobility. That's what it is. Tonic immobility. No, he's not going to drown. He'll be fine. He'll figure out how to flip himself eventually. It's just that they tend to get like stuck, and it's not like paralyzed, but it's like drowsy. I don't know how to properly describe it, but yeah, it's for mating essentially, so that the female can just flip upside down and doesn't have to like fuck, you know. It's hard to have sex underwater, okay? I've made the analogy before, but imagine trying to have sex, but you're underwater
Unreal.
and you have no
I
arms.
made a Kahoot question and you nearly forgot SMH.
You made a Kahoot question? What are you talking about? Elbow. Well, thank you.
I've never seen a shark do that before.
Yeah. Look at his eyes.
Right.
They're like copper.
This fisherman
Oh.
in Hawaii was very close to potentially losing his leg.
The panic. Yeah, it was probably going for the kayak, not the leg.
Oh god, there it is!
Seal is not very good at evasive maneuvers. Thank you, not
Two
Keith.
swimmers are unaware of the danger heading towards them.
There's a shark! Get out! There's a shark!
Get out the water!
No, he's coming! Come on, go, go, go!
He's chasing a stingray.
And that stingray is right by them. Yeah, now run! That is a massive shark.
Once again, shark comes into the shallows. Run, everybody get out of the water. Oh, it's trying to eat a stingray. Okay.
And it came all the way up to knee level.
Thank God! Thank God!
What the fuck? It's not a real crocodile, right?
A drone captures the moment a crocodile swims past another deadly predator.
Saltwater croc. Not that deadly of a predator. That's a big ass crocodile though. Goddamn, saltwater crocodiles are terrifying. I think saltwater crocodiles scare me
A
far
man
more than
records a
sharks ever
curious
have.
bull shark with his GoPro in the Bahamas.
Cool. Took his hand out of the water because the shark came nearby. That's pretty cool. And it would be so cool to go swimming around in those waters, the amount of cool fish you would see. Look at the sargassum. I bet there's sargassum fish in that. So cute. Okay. Is this your card? Terrifying.
A great white shark circles a fishing boat before deciding to go for a bite.
Whoa, there it is!
Does it smell like fish and it have lots of fish on it? Cute. Me and I. Seen that video before. That's a big ass great white. God damn. What the fuck is this video, bro? Yeah, bro, he's trying to steal the fish.
Beachgoers riding
no
their
shit.
jet skis encounter a shark swimming in shallow waters. They hover around the sea creature until the shark decides it's had enough.
I mean, have you guys ever seen that bar graph? The fuck around and find out bar graph? The more you fuck around, the more you find out. Cute. Look at all the remora. They're not even paying attention to it.
A couple of fishermen are ecstatic to witness a massive bull shark trying to steal their catch in Florida.
Oh, humongous bull sharks! Holy There it is, look at it. Oh my god!
They caught a reef fish. They're just leaving it on the surface of the water. They want the shark to bite it, bro.
Oh my god! Oh shit! Ah!
Boop snoot, redirect.
Why would an aquarium put a creature in the same tank as a hammerhead? If anyone knows, please comment below.
Oh my gosh. It's eating it.
Okay, this might be a slightly traumatic experience for the children, but also at some point they have to learn about the food chain. I don't know why you would put stingrays in with a hammerhead. Maybe they just haven't had compatibility issues previously. Ah, well. They're animals, you know. At the end of the day, they still do things that you can't predict. The kid. Me when I tell the kid what chicken nuggets are made from. It's like a flying fish. It's going so
Vacationers in Egypt help a beach shark back into the water.
Am I crazy, or did they just pull it out of the water? Something tells me if the shark was weak enough to get washed up on shore, he's not going to survive after being put back up. Sorry, why is there a recycling cannon? Oh. Cute.
A feeding frenzy with hundreds of sharks is recorded in the waters of Florida.
Hey, hungry.
Cool.
This is off St. George Island Beach. Population control, man. Do you really want your kids swimming at this beach?
Are they trying to justify fishing and killing sharks by saying that, hey, when we pour a shitload of food into the water off of our boat, a bunch of sharks come around? Do you really want your kids in these waters? Well, as long as your kids aren't throwing chum into the water around themselves.
Getting out of hand. Woo, hitting the boat.
Stingray. Cool. Cool. Crystal clear water and like
A
a
great
mangrove type
white
thing is
comes
crazy.
to visit some cage divers in South Australia.
Yeah, I mean, you put chum in the water, of course you did.
There it is, look at it.
We already saw this
Oh
video.
my god! There's the other one! That's ridiculous.
Well, I guess it's different footage of the same
Look
event.
at this freaking bull shark! Oh my god!
Am I crazy, or is
Oh,
this
there
bull
it
shark
goes. There it
terrible
goes.
at
Bye-bye.
grabbing? Oh, there he goes.
Bye-bye! Holy
Hundreds of black-tipped sharks were spotted off of Singer Island in Florida. Definitely not the right time to go swimming.
We get black tips pretty commonly around us in New Jersey, at least right now. A lot of them.
No way. Oh my god.
Incredible footage is captured of a moray eel doing its best to fight off a shark.
Get him! Oh. He's not doing a lot. He's biting onto the fin, kind of hoping for the best. hoping the shark gives up. He kind of failed. I thought he was going to escape.
That's a freaking whale.
It's a white shark. Get
Surfers at a beach in California
What did you
seem
think
to
that
have
the
no idea of the
triangular
predator
dorsal fin
that's
sticking out of the
currently in
water
their
was?
midst.
Rip the cormorant.
Oh!
That's a funny looking shark. He's so small. Or is the perspective just weird? Imagine a horror movie with Greenland sharks. Imagine a horror movie with like whale sharks or something basic. That's gotta be a baby, right? Or just a species I haven't seen before. It's a baby white shark? I've never seen a baby white shark before.
You okay? Watch your ankles.
I didn't want to get near the face.
A very large shark is recorded frolicking in the waters of a river in Massachusetts.
I don't know if frolicking is the word. He seems quite lost. Like he can't get himself into shallower water.
There you go.
Or deeper
Go on.
water.
Head home.
Wow.
This is from the same channel. Exploring Ivan the Terrible's madness in the same channel. What is Wicked Wombat?
I'm Wicked Wombat, and welcome to my channel.
Where's the goat? Oh, he got
This
crushed
mother
by a
dog-
piano. Wait, does every video have a different...
I'm Wicked Wombat, and welcome to my channel. A herd of
Every video has a different CGI animation? That's sick.
I'm Wicked Wombat.
Shut up, Wicked Wombat. Ugh. Oh, did I tell you? I didn't tell you guys. We found the narrator to the Bright Side videos and a bunch of other like the clickbait channels. Unfortunately, he is not a Fiverr narrator. He's actually a bit more professional than that. So I think it would probably cost a good amount of money to make a anti-Megalodon video with his voice. But maybe we fundraise for that in the future because it'd be very funny to make like a Bright Side style video with the same voice actor, but make it about like disproving the Megalodon. Yeah, I could crowdfund it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Next react. Why the sunfish is the king of evolution. Interesting. I assume it's talking about the ocean sunfish. A lot of people have very negative opinions about the ocean sunfish. And you know what? I blame Tirzu. Yes, Tirzu, that's right. I blame you. You have single-handedly stirred the minds of millions of children into believing that the ocean sunfish is poorly adapted. I love the ocean. I think, and this is coming from someone who hates seahorses and hates pipefish and thinks that they are terribly adapted. So it's not like I'm just biased in favor of all fish. I think ocean sunfish, as stupid as their strategy seems, I think they are actually well adapted.
Let me just preface this video by saying that I was originally gonna clown on this fish, but the more I looked into it, the more I realized that it was the most insane thing that I'd ever seen.
See? Even people who do actual research to try and figure out how they can make fun of the fish end up being like, oh shit, wait, maybe it's actually a good fish.
Another one?
This is the sunfish. Now, if you're anything like me, you might be thinking,
Something ain't right.
to start, the sunfish is missing its caudal fin. You know, the one that fishes used to move. At some point in evolution, a functional, perfectly healthy fish decided to fuse its dorsal and anal fins together, creating a clavis instead of a fin on its rear end. As a result, the sunfish swims at a whopping 2 miles per hour, making it the second
I actually don't know what the advantage is. Why did the fins fuse? I mean, not that there's like necessarily like a specific reason that everything happens with evolution. I mean, sometimes stuff just happens, but if there are multiple species and they're still surviving to this day, there's probably some sort. No, I don't think the reason is because it's funny or aesthetics, even though wow, that is the worst way I've ever seen aesthetics spelled. less energy usage. But at that point, why not just commit to being totally immobile? I don't know. It's interesting.
Slowest animal on the planet. However, we can't talk about the sunfish without mentioning its size. Out of all 5 sunfish species alive today, they all share one trait. They're
What the fuck is
absolutely
that? Wait, hold on a minute. I know the first 4. I know hoodwinker, common, sharptail, and giant sunfish. I have never seen this one before. This one looks so cool. I knew there were 4. I did not know there was a 5th one. Well, maybe I knew there was a 5th one, but I didn't know what it looked like. That's cool. God damn. The skinny sunfish. He has to swim faster than 2 miles per hour. Come on. He definitely swims faster than 2 miles per hour.
They're absolutely ginormous.
What is this one?
Now your typical sunfish, the mola mola, averages around 5.9 feet long, which if you ask me is perfect. Like, that's the ideal height. Unfortunately, some sunfish also crumble under societal expectations. And that's where the giant sunfish comes into the equation. Imagine a typical sunfish, but instead of feeding it food, you fed it anabolic steroids. Now you have a sunfish that at its peak is 11 feet long and weighs over 6,000 pounds, which is actually insane. You know what? Let's play a game. What weighs more, the Eiffel Tower or the sunfish?
Obviously the Eiffel Tower.
If you said the sunfish, you're dumb as hell. The Eiffel Tower weighs 22 million pounds, you goof. But how did the sunfish get so big? Well, besides having the genetics to grow over 3 million times its birth weight.
Damn, it's born at less than a gram. Wait, I have seen baby. Have you guys ever seen larval ocean sunfish? Look it up if you haven't. They're like little spiky balls. They're so tiny.
Gotta eat. Sunfish eat a diverse diet of small fish, crustaceans, and small fish babies. However, its favorite meal is a good old jellyfish salad. And you know the saying, you are what you eat? In this case, it's true. Sunfish are impressively brain dead. A 440-pound sunfish was found to have a brain weighing 0.01 pounds. For reference, us humans have a brain that weighs 3 pounds, making our brain 300 times heavier. But if you're still having trouble visualizing it, you can reference this Reddit post, which says that it's the size of 3 human testicles. I don't even think it's true, it's closer to 0.3. Anyways, the sunfish have a peculiar way of eating due to their teeth. Their 4 teeth in the mouth work together to create a beak, which they use to break things apart. Now for jellyfish, they can just gulp it down. But if a crab stumbles into its mouth...
Money! 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 Money!
Fun fact, the sunfish can't close its mouth. Yeah, hello. I don't really know how to explain this, but speaking of eating, sunfish themselves...
Thank you, Kinks Arts. My God.
...get eaten. A lot. When developing as a small fingerling, many fishes can eat them, such as the tuna. But as an adult, it's only prey to sharks, killer whales, and sea lions. But man, these sea lions are the definition of evil. Just look at their cute puppy eyes.
Yeah, because they tear it apart. Because the flesh isn't like they can be prey to killer whales and sharks and sea lions, but they don't typically want to eat them. And parasites, true. But they don't typically want to eat them because their flesh is so non-nutritious. They just took the craziest route in evolution. It's so sick. They have no brain whatsoever, no functioning fins, and no flesh that properly works. I mean, they are like, seahorses are like so poorly adapted that they suck.
Poggers.
Sunfish are like so bad that they're actually kind of good, you know? If you're so bad that nothing wants to interact with you, actually kind of a good thing. Thank you, Vixie Cats.
While most predators, eat their prey, sea lions have a different idea. Hey, why don't we just take a bite out the sunfish and run away?
As if it's gonna go chase after them.
Oh my God!
If you thought that was bad, nah! These fools clip off the fins and use them as underwater frisbees, bro.
I didn't know
what the now it's time.
Wait, they bite off the fins and play with them? That's a dolphin type of thing. I did not know that sea lions would do that.
For will it survive? I think it's gonna make it. I mean, if this guy made it. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me check with the experts for this one. Nah, he dead. Oh Oh shit. Joke's on the seal though, because the sunfish can lay up to 300 million eggs at one time. And in case that didn't impress you, they do this several times. Besides sea lions, the sunfish have—
That's a lot of fish though. 300 million is still a lot, but a lot of fish lay a lot of eggs. And more than half don't end up getting fertilized. And then the actual survival rate of the babies is like less than 1%. For most. Some fish are like, they lay smaller clutches and protect them. But most fish are just like, make as many egg and sperm as possible to create most baby
have
possible.
Another mortal enemy. Parasites. Even with a protective mucus layer, sunfish manage to have up to 40 to 50 species of parasites on their body at any given time. Gotta give them some credit though, cause even with a 0.3 testicle sized brain, sunfish actually came up with a smart solution for these things. They've been recorded lining up, literally, at kelp beds to get cleaned off by blue perches. But for the really nasty parasites, they come up to the surface of the water and serve seagulls a pan en parasite. Man, talk about outsourcing. One unique behavior that sunfishes have is that they'll sometimes jump out of the water, and as expected, it looks like a toddler on a trampoline.
Why don't they swim vertically? Why did they jump out of the water horizontally? He barely got out of the water. I've never seen a mola jump. That's funny.
Scientists speculate that this goofy maneuver is actually a way of getting rid of parasites. Now, there are a lot of instances where sunfish have interacted with humans, but most of these interactions end up either in sunfish sushi or tax payments. The final thing I'm going to cover is the most scientific, but in my opinion is also the coolest part about the sunfish. Normally, bony fishes, a class of fish with, well, bones.
What the fuck is going on here? What is this? I just need to point, I understand he drew this and I understand he's not a fish expert, but okay, you know, you've got the dorsal fin, you've got the pectoral fin, pelvic fin, caudal fin. What is this? What is this here? Penis? That's the only thing it could be. Side fin? His anal fin is just coming out of the side of his body.
Have a unique organ called the swim bladder. This organ is vital in keeping bony fish buoyant. Otherwise, they sink straight down due to being too dense. There are plenty of other benefits to this organ that I won't get into, but yeah, point is that it's pretty important. Of course, since this organ is useful and perfectly fine the way it is, sunfish decided to get rid of them entirely. Instead,
But it works
just
better
like
for
any
them.
other rational animal, they developed a gelatinous tissue under the skin that perfectly offsets the density of their bones and organs. Cause that's just easier than having a swim bladder.
It is.
Right? The proportion of this tissue in sunfish can range a decent amount.
I
but
mean,
here's a
it's
rule.
harder to evolve to, I guess, but in the end, it is much easier because you don't have an organ that can fail. I mean, like, a constant layer around your body is much less susceptible. Like, say if seals take chunks out of you, if a seal takes your swim bladder out and you're a normal fish, you're screwed. But if a seal takes some amount of your mucus out, who cares? You've taken a weak point and made it a non-weak point. It's like if our heart or our lungs were around our entire body, right? It's like, oh, you could puncture any given part of it, but it's okay because the entire rest of the body is still functioning.
Rule of thumb. If fish big, fish have big tissue. No matter the depth, sunfish maintain a neutral buoyancy equal to that of water, contributing to their ability to dive pretty far down. For reference, this is the water column. Sunfish have been observed to dive 2,600 feet deep, meaning they're far into the twilight zone. A pretty impressive feat for a fish that flaps to swim. Now, it definitely gets cold down there, and since sunfish are cold-blooded, they often float to the surface to reheat themselves with the sun. And that right there is why they're called the sunfish.
Oh. I didn't know that, and I don't think that's true, because then why are sunfish the freshwater kind called sunfish? Interesting, though. Very good video on ocean sunfish. I like facts and support of a creature that I think ocean sunfish are good. They're the bats of the ocean. I think bats are much more well adapted and intelligent. Ocean sunfish are a prime example of so bad that it's good. I thought they were called that because the babies looked like suns. The babies look like suns. Oh god, no, nope. Not doing that video just yet. Alright, shall we watch a Z Frank video? He's made a couple other fish related videos that I wanted to check out because they're good. I realized when we reacted to the last Z Frank video, although the video didn't do that well, it was just really fun. I liked reacting to it, and I think I was able to add a lot to the content considering it was fish related because I got to talk about facts that he didn't necessarily talk about or in more detail than what he talked about. So I actually like watching these. And it turns out he has a lot of fish related videos. So he has one on batfishes. I think I've talked about many times the red-lipped batfish, how ridiculous of a creature the red-lipped batfish are. I think it's in one of like my worst named and weirdest looking fish videos. I mean, this thing is just ridiculous. It has like the crazy proboscis. It literally is wearing lipstick. Sits on the bottom. Looks stupid as hell. But overall, I actually don't know a ton about batfish, so it'd be nice. Not look like you on a Sunday morning.
This is Matthew, a little green fish. Oh, that's not him? Well, where is he? Oh, now I see him. Wait, are you sure that's a fish? Matthew is a batfish from the family.
Wow, I actually didn't see him until just now.
Ogcasophilidae. He's a bit of a rebel. Certainly doesn't care what you expect a fish to be. Matthew is highly adapted for a benthic lifestyle, meaning that he lives on the floor of the sea, not on the roof like a duck do. Oh, there he is. That's his face. From time to time, Matthew likes to take a little stroll. Underneath, he has two pelvic fins that prop him up.
That's so cool.
On the sides, highly modified pectoral fins have evolved to...
It's at that point, just have arms. Just get opposable thumbs already. Why do you still have just modified fins? Those are crazy. Did you say they're pectoral or pelvic? I guess they're pectoral, right? Because then we're pelvic fins. That's an insane level of evolution. The fact that there's nothing that the fact that there's no in between is so crazy to me. This is one of the things that I always struggle with when talking about evolution, is that like you can see a lot of times the ancestral form, I forget what it's called, but yeah, the ancestral form is still around. There's some, animal that hasn't changed. And then you can also see the highly evolved form. So like this is an example of I don't know what their closest ancestor is, but there's probably a closest ancestor, and there's still a fish today that looks a lot like it, right? But then you get to see this, and then it's like, what the hell happened to there's millions of years of slow evolution is not quick. They didn't just wake up one day with this and be successful. There are millions of years of evolution with this, and seeing in between is crazy. I would love to see how the thing went away. And that's, I guess, what the point of fossil records are, but even still, we don't get that great of an idea.
Almost resemble little legs or arms. Used together. What the heck was that? Go back. I want to see it again. Wait for it. Oh! That makes me want to vomit.
Are those the gills?
And
its gills behind its pectoral fin? Wait, that makes sense. No, wait. Gills are usually in front of the pectoral fin.
Put my finger in it. Two feelings, same time. What may look like a literal interpretation of the word armpit is actually Matthew's gill.
Oh, wow.
His skin is covered in little cones and pyramids. These tubercles and bucklers are specialized scales made of keratin and calcium. They form a kind of flexible armor, kind of like if you bedazzled yourself with bits of fingernail and teeth. Little frilly hair-like clusters of skin called dermal cirri poke out here and there. All of this helps Matthew disguise himself as a harmless piece of sea garbage that can walk. It's not perfect. Ogcasophilidae are in the order Laphiiformis, which
I love when they're not. Okay, when they're well camouflaged into the reef, you look at it and you're like, wow, that is an impressive adaptation that fish has. But then when they're on a background that doesn't make sense, they look so stupid. I mean, it looks so stupid.
Matthew, an anglerfish and an ambush hunter. He has a little fishing pole that... There it is. It's crazy. This Elysium... Whoa! This Elysium has evolved from a single ray of his dorsal fin, and it pops out right around where you'd think his nose would be. Like the movie Alien, but a different orifice. Most anglerfish, like this frogfish, lure their prey visually, using movement or light. Batfish, however, eat things that don't see very well, like worms and snails and stupid clams. Slurp? So a visual lure would be a bit like waving a cape at a blindfolded bull. Instead, it seems to use a chemical lure, releasing fluids from its
I have
esca,
seen that. I
that
have heard
little
that.
bulb on the end of its elysium.
That's
That
really
fluid
cool.
seems to attract things like snails and brings them to the surface.
Is there much precedent for like chemical luring? I guess pitcher plants, right? Pitcher plants have a scented chemical inside of them that makes flies and stuff want to go inside and then they get digested. But in the fish world, like using chemosynthesis spray thing is actually really cool. I don't know if there's many things that do that.
However, if you eat shelled things, you have to make sure that your mouth isn't too big for your rectum. Batfish will often get a bit stopped up. It's a delicate balance. You have
Why did he eat Bro, you can't eat clams or scallops or snails. You can't do this. You don't have the ability to chew. You can't just swallow whole shelled animals. Oh my god.
the same size as your rectum and you're eating out of a straw. Too big and you've got a log jam. Batfish aren't the best swimmers. It looks a bit like if your arms were
like a
tied to your
pufferfish.
side and you were thrown off a bridge. But you could still kind of flap your hands. However, when they spawn, they will swim up and release a little mucus raft for their babies. There are nearly 70 known species of batfish, and most look a bit like the bottom half of a kangaroo that was flattened by a truck. However, you may have also noticed that they all look very pissed off. You try putting on your lipstick with no mirror and no hands.
Yeah, and no hands.
Even little Wendy's
What
pissed
the
off.
fuck is that?
She weighed
Bro, that's always the shit I'm hoping to come across when I go night fishing for tropicals in the ocean. Give me the most ridiculous, goofy-looking larval fish you can find.
herself on the bathroom scale, then had a good toilet and weighed herself again. No change. How does that even happen? But the main reason that batfish are pissed off is because they're called batfish. They've spent a long time trying not to look like anything you'd recognize, let alone a bat. Why don't you just call a bat a fish bird? That's what they say. And what makes matters worse is there's other fish called batfish too. Here's one, Platax pinnatus, also called a batfish. Alright,
Those
when
are
they're
really pretty
juveniles,
when
I
they're
kind of see it. But really, what they're trying to look like is the flatworm Pseudobiceras hancockinus, and no, I'm not going to slow that word down so you can spell it, perv. In any case, they're trying to resemble not a bat, but a flatworm that does something that even researchers refer to as penis fencing, not kidding. Platax orbicularis, also called a batfish, tries to resemble a dead leaf when it's a baby. And when they grow up, you know what they do? They follow turtles.
I love leaf mimics, dude. Leaf mimics are so funny because 99% of the time they just exist to look like a leaf. But then when there's anything around watching them, they're like, "Oh, I've fallen and I can't get up. I'm a leaf. Don't eat
around
me."
and eat the little dancing ballerinas that come out the backside. You know, the turtles. Again, not kidding. Meanwhile, the bats are like, I don't want that fish named after me, and the turtles have a lot of explaining to do when they show up at a party. Oh, hey, Jim, I see you brought a friend. No, he's not really my friend. Nonsense, I see you guys panning around all the time. What's your name, son? Sorry, one sec. Chewing. There is one fish sometimes called a batfish that might deserve the name. Dactylopterus volitans is related to the seahorse, but often gets lumped in with the sea robins because they fight crime together. Duh. The sea robins are called gurnards. Think Bernard, but not as chilly and a
I
little
just
more
caught a larval sea robin. Last night? No, 2 nights ago. I caught a larval sea robin. They're so cute when they're tiny. He was like completely clear. But these fin modifications here are so creepy to me. They're so weird.
And that's a good team right there. The batfish swoops in and the sea robin can handle all the tickling. And that's my point, I think. You want a good partner in crime. Someone who can handle the tickling or swim up and fart out a mucus raft with you. If you're just following someone around and eating their crap all day, you get out of that relationship.
What the hell is that?
I don't know, man. They're very cute. Here, let me find... I caught a baby, a larval one. I said like 2 ago. Yeah, him. Baby striped sea robin. I caught him. He is like, I can't even describe to you, like smaller than your fingernail. He's so small. Look at him. It's like he doesn't even have pigmentation on most of his body yet. Crazy how small and adorable they are.
That. And scientists, you need to stop getting drunk when you name fish.
True and real. Scientists do need to name fish better. I think honorific Latin is fine, but I think that generally the common name should be somewhat descriptive. Makes it easier to communicate with the public when you're not talking about Swainson's thrush, you're talking about a something thrush, you know. You know how it'd be. Alright, shall we watch one more Z Frank video? Or no, that's probably a bad idea. I probably shouldn't watch it. You know what, chat? I'm feeling ready for some dumb shit. Sorry, let me re-record that so we can use it in the intro. You know what, chat? I'm feeling ready for some dumb stuff. I've had this video on the back burner for a bit since someone recommended it to me in my YouTube, and I did not. I just didn't want to watch it. You know, we deal with a lot of like conspiracy, all sorts of, you know, pseudoscience type things on the channel, and so sometimes it gets a little tiring to constantly disprove the most ridiculous things. But you know, today it's not the Megalodon, it's not Crabzilla. We haven't seen Crabzilla in a while. I should back on the Crabzilla train. Today it is skyfish. Some sort of alien, I don't know. I like briefly panned through the video and it's some like camera effect alien thing. I mean, I'll let them explain. But apparently there are alien fish in the sky, so just get ready. I think I liked the wombat intro better. Bro, it's like I'm watching it's like an ad at the movie theater. Like when your movie isn't on yet, but they're still it does look like it was made in iMovie, but they're still playing like the ads for crappy movies that are come out soon. On second thought, this was 100% made in Blender with like a template and then thrown over a background.
In my last video, we talked a little bit about energy orbs and how experts say that you can't see these energy orbs with your own eyes, but cameras can. And this reminded me of an old paranormal mystery known as rods or air rods. It is believed by the paranormal community that these air rods are
something like crop circles and that even the skeptics admit they exist. The only question is what they really are. Invisible to the eye, they are picked up by cameras all over the world. So they're a camera effect? I mean, it just kind of, I haven't seen it yet, but it just, if it's only picked up by cameras, something tells me it's just like an effect of exposure or something on a camera lens.
Either living creatures, atmospherical beast, or some sort of non-living anomaly such as energy. And whatever they are, you can't see them, but cameras can detect them, just like the energy orbs. Now this all started in 1994 when a man...
Is that it? Bro, that is an insect or a bird flying on an overexposed camera. He has a hat? Skyfish, the discovery of rods? Oh no. No, bro. Bro, that's just like a bird or like a bug flying and the camera is overexposed so it records it multiple times. No way he has a hat. I thought it was going to be like some dude recanting his small experience with it. There's no way he has. This better not be his name. If his name is Jose Escamilla and he's wearing a Jose Escamilla film, do you think he's the only one who made this hat? He like designed this hat on a custom hat website and he's like, guys, buy the hat. It was only him. He's the only one who wanted to wear it.
Named Jose, who was a professional film producer and editor, saw a strange image on one of his photographs. He said at first he thought they were just insects flying across the camera, but as time went by he kept seeing them and he wasn't 100% sure what they were, so he started to investigate.
I can solve it. It's called overexposure. Sorry, it's called motion blur. Long exposure, I think is the correct term. Long exposure. Yeah. Yes, yeah, because this looks like a fish.
And after a lot of research and analyzing, he believed that these were some unknown creatures still unknown to science. He stated that these rods, which he named, had a cylinder body, multiple sets of wings, moved super fast, and could grow or be up to 6 feet long. Maybe even...
Okay. Move super fast. Bird/insect. Wings, bird/insect. Long, bird/insect on long exposure. Grow up to 6 feet. The fact that multiple flying things can cause this effect.
Even longer. And not too long after he came forward with his findings, this theory that there could be 6-foot-long insects flying all over the place and we can't see them, well, it really took off. Some believed Jose, but most thought that his idea was crazy and that these were nothing more than bugs or insects. One professor stated that cameras are capable of producing artifacts, something in the picture that was never really there. And this professor did a lot of his own testing, and he did capture things that kind of look like rods. And he believed that he had debunked this theory, and so...
I mean, that's a pretty shitty attempt. If you literally just turn on you can do this on your iPhone. Your iPhone is capable of this. You can take, if you have an iPhone, there's like a long exposure mode, I think, in the photo thing. Yeah, you can literally, when it's dark, cameras turn on the low exposure thing. You can literally turn that on and then run across the screen and you will become a skyfish. Like, it's not a particularly difficult phenomenon to understand. And there's a reason that if you can't see it but a camera can, it's because it's an artifact.
So did everybody else. Even when you look at Wikipedia's page today, sadly where most people go looking for the truth, it says that these rods are nothing more than an optical illusion. Now, I'm not saying that these rods are real. It could indeed be some sort of optical illusion, or what the professionals call artifacts, but here's where things get really interesting. Jose, who sadly died not too long ago...
How many hats does he own related to skyfish? This is a completely different hat. This one just says rods on it. Who's designing these hats? And how many of them has he designed and purchased?
Looked at these pictures back in the 90s that this professor took.
There is a very happy hat shop somewhere in the United States that is just constantly producing these.
And he knew right away that these were not rods. He stated that rods, just like any other bug or insect, has their own footprint, their own flight path. You can easily tell if it's a moth or a bird or an airplane.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty clearly like a moth. There's multiple people there. Look, those are all, I mean, it's a creepy photo in general, but there's a bunch of people there. You know what this probably is? Just based on flight pattern, it's like a duck or something, or some rare bird that they're all looking at, and then it's been long exposed.
And a rod is a rod. And to me, that makes a heck of a lot of sense, especially if we're talking about video footage. And these rods are captured all the time in pictures and on tape. And they have even been seen in space and underwater.
You just disproved they've been seen in space and underwater? Bro, this is literally a duck. This is literally a mallard taking off. You've got to be kidding me. You can't possibly be called... Please.
For the sake of argument, let's just say that these rods, these 6-foot-long insect-looking things exist. And they are underwater, they're in space, just all around us all the time, and you can't even see them with your own eyes. Well then, what could they possibly be?
Wait, hold on, I don't accept your conceit. I'm not with you. He's assuming I'm with him. It's like, okay, well, this is the conceit. That no, I do not accept your conceit.
The most extreme theory is that these are not living things at all. They are tiny alien drones that are watching and recording everything we and all living things on Earth do.
No way.
There are many examples in movies where people from the CIA or the NSA make a tiny little bug such as a fly that sneaks into our rooms of our enemies and records what they say. So if there are aliens that are highly advanced and they know we exist, I don't think that this theory is that crazy.
Yeah, it is. No, it is that crazy. Why is there a proverb on the screen? That's also a very creepy proverb, by the way, a very threatening thing to say in a Bible, but now that's what I call leaping to conclusions. Yeah, I would say so. I would say it's a little bit of a leap to go from, oh, you know, there's maybe intelligent life out there, to the intelligent life knows about us and is watching us by putting invisible drones that for some reason our camera can capture. They're intelligent enough to make it so that humans can't see it, but oh man, they forgot about our little glass and light apparatuses.
People always say that God is always watching us. Well, maybe aliens are too.
Stop.
Another theory is that these are atmospherical beasts. They are born in the sky. They can live in space. They don't need Earth to survive, and they possess abilities that we know nothing about.
What?
A lot of people believe that atmospherical beasts do exist. I remember watching a documentary a long time ago where astronauts claimed that they saw a creature that looked like a worm just flying in space. And sometimes they would fly really close to the spacecraft windows, and these astronauts really believed that these were living things because of how they moved. But NASA stated that these things that look like worms were nothing more than space debris. But astronauts who have actually seen them with their own eyes disagree with NASA. And I might cover this in more detail in a future video if I can uncover more information, because it is mind-blowing.
That does look like space.
Now today, there are people who hunt rods in hopes of finally catching one, just like how people hunt for Bigfoot. Jose stated shortly before he died that this phenomena is real. And for those of you who don't believe in it, well, that's your prerogative. You can believe what you want or disbelieve, but the fact is these things are here. They are doing something here. We don't know what they're doing, but they are doing it.
That was the most nothing sentence. They're doing something here. We don't know what they're doing, but they're doing it. Whatever they're doing that. I don't know, man. Do it. What do believe, you know? I guess this one's not particularly harmful. I like believing in the megalodon and that kind of thing can be slightly harmful to. I don't want to talk about the pterosaur right here. Can we not acknowledge the end here? Yeah, I don't know. Should I do an AVNJ's adventure where I go looking for skyfish? Yeah, that is one of the best parts about being a conspiracy theorist. I am slightly jealous of conspiracy theorists in that they can just make anything up and they can convince a good amount of gullible people that it is the case. You can make up essentially everything. It can be as ridiculous or easily explainable as you want of a phenomenon, and it will still probably gain traction just because people are always looking for crazy shit to believe. All right, last one for today, chat. This is a long one. This is another Z Frank video. It's about sharks. It's 15 minutes long, my god. The curious adaptations of sharks. Probably talk about tonic immobility, which I talked about in the other video.
This episode sponsored by Brilliant. Learn to think. This right here is a little baby shark.
Oh my god.
It's cute, isn't it? Rubbing up on that veiny sack. This one was laid as an egg and then abandoned, left to fend for itself.
So
well,
cute.
Not entirely. The mother...
My dream is finding a like a mermaid purse. If you don't, that's like the shark / skate / ray eggs that are on the beach. Finding one that still has a baby inside of it. It's very rare because usually they're clung on to something until they wash up, and then when they wash up, it usually means that the baby broke out of it, or that it was never fertilized in the first place. But it would be so cute.
Did leave it attached to that ball. It is a yolk sac and contains enough food to get the baby through to hatching. Provides a bit of comfort too, by the looks of it. It's like a stuffy and mushy peas all wrapped up in a testicle. Now, shark eggs come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes, with different ways of attaching to crap on the sea floor. This sex toy here is actually the egg of a crested horn shark.
But not even all sharks lay eggs. Lots of sharks do internal. Wow, I really have not. I've not taken an ichthyology class in too long. I can't even remember the term for when the sharks don't, are internal eggs versus external. And then there's the thing where the baby sharks eat the other baby sharks. The mom will purposefully get pregnant again so that her older babies can eat the newer baby. There's a lot of terms to blend that I forget. In with watch my ichthyology videos. Maybe I need to watch my ichthyology videos.
That it's often found.
I'm getting lazy. I've been working a job too long.
But listen, being an abandoned egg can suck, literally. This is a Port Jackson shark sucking out the insides of one of those eggs. It's using that bottom of the ice cream cone technique too. Knows what it's doing. In many species of shark, though, the eggs hatch inside the mother, where the embryos then develop. The embryos start off with yolk sacs, just like the ones you see in eggs. But often the pregnancy lasts longer than that food supply does. But baby's gotta eat, and the mother has to figure out how to give it more food. Sometimes it's a nutritious mucus. In the case of the great white shark, the mother creates unfertilized eggs, which the embryos can gobble up with their tiny little teeth. And it's not all just sitting around and waiting in there. Some babies can be quite active. Here you can see a tawny nurse shark embryo swimming freely between its mother's two uteruses. It's cute, right? Inside there are often embryos from different fathers. And one thing this baby is doing is looking around for half-brothers and half-sisters to snack on. Not even born yet, and they're in a Game of Thrones situation. Now, apparently that's
what I was talking about, except that the mother will, purposefully delay getting pregnant. Like, they can hold on to sperm and then purposefully delay when they have each baby so that the babies are able to consume each other. And she can give the best chance of survival to her oldest kids. Usually after the first generation, she's just saving sperm to create food for her older kids.
These babies peek out of their mother's cloaca as they're swimming back and forth between her two uteruses. You just saw it, didn't you? I know you did. Right there. That's the Gerber baby. That's where they come from. Once born, sharks are endowed with a number of amazing adaptations. Many sharks can swim very quickly. Jerry, what's this footage? Well, I'm saying swim quickly, and this one's walking. What is it? Epaulet shark? Well, whatever it's called.
My favorite shark, probably. I love epaulet shark. Turn off their brains and save oxygen and walk through tide pools.
Oh, it's going to ruin the reputation of the rest of the sharks. Try putting that in a scary movie, Jerry. Look out, shark! Everyone walk at a moderate pace in the opposite direction. It'd be a disaster. All right, let's try this again. Many sharks can swim quite quickly. This comes in handy because sharks live in places where there are sharks, and also because the pancakes they eat don't exactly lie still on a plate. Run away, pancake! Now, it's not all that easy to move quickly through water. If you've ever done water aerobics, then you've probably felt like an idiot. But you've also probably felt that water pushes back on you when you move. Like most fish, sharks move their powerful tails back and forth to move forward. But as they move forward, they also have to stay up. Most fishes use swim bladders to stay buoyant. Imagine you swallowed a condom you'd blown up with air. Jerry, why is it a condom, Jerry? Just say balloon. No, it doesn't make it more relatable. Sounds filthy. Anyway,
sharks don't have a swim bladder, like, not inside of a fish. This is interesting, actually. I've only ever seen, like, while dissecting, I've seen swim bladders. Speaking of which, I've been wanting to do a dissection/identification video for so damn long, but I can't find the stupid fish that I want to do the video on. I have had multiple friends catch it, and I keep forgetting to tell them. I've told them all now. All of my friends know the next time you catch one to give it, to bring it to me. But I keep forgetting. And the last friend that I forgot to tell is Sandlance Elbow. The last friend that I forgot to tell caught one, and I was like, oh my god, I had forgotten to tell you. Otherwise, he would have brought me one. So please, I need a Sandlance. I've been trying so hard to do a fish dissection video.
Why is it a condom, Jerry? Just say balloon. No, it doesn't make it more relatable. Sounds filthy. Anyway, sharks don't have swim bladders, but they have some tricks to lighten up. They have a very fatty liver, which helps, and a skeleton made out of cartilage instead of bone. Every time you look at a shark, your ear whispers to your nose, that could have been us. But even with all that, sharks have a tendency towards the sinking. So, to stay afloat, many sharks take advantage of lift. Certain shapes at certain angles cause fluids to move more quickly over one surface than the other. You may have heard that the water on top moves faster because it has to reach the end at the same time as the water on the bottom. Science hippies at Cambridge showed that that's just not true. The water on top moves quite a bit farther in the same amount of time. Anyway, the end result is that there's a difference in pressure between the top and the bottom, resulting in a force that pushes in the direction of the lower pressure. The fins of many sharks are just the right shape to take advantage of lift. The hammerhead takes advantage of all of it. Here you can see how to put one back together. If you break it, they will often swim at an angle, getting lift one back together. It's not even like you could argue that
they were making an anatomical diagram. These are clearly Lego pieces. The way that it slots in.
If you break it, they will often swim at an angle, getting lift from their side fins as well as the one on the top. Now, you've probably noticed that water can get a bit mushy when it passes quickly over a fin. This is called mushy or turbulence. If you've ever been in a water park wave pool, then you've felt what it's like to be covered in urine.
I have an entire ichthyology lesson on locomotion in fishes, which goes over turbulent versus laminar flow and a lot of other fun, somewhat mathematical, but also very consumable to the average person, theories about swimming.
But you've also felt how swirling water can complicate movement. If the water gets too swirling, it can be hard to push against it, and it can counteract lift. So sharks have evolved some special tricks to reduce turbulence. This one's a shady one, isn't it? Look at that side eye. Brilliant.org is a great address. Their skin is covered with denticles. Not like denticles of the octopus, but rather denticles, which are made from exactly the same thing that teeth are made out of.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys knew that. Sharks do have scales, but they're not made of the same thing that other fish scales are. Their scales are made of teeth. Their entire body is covered in teeth. They're not exactly teeth. They're just the same material. It is evolved differently, takes a different form. But basically, their entire body is covered in teeth. That's why sharks are rough one direction.
Dentin and enamel. Science hippies tested these denticles to see what effect they have on the flow of water around the shark. The tips of the denticles interact with the fast-moving water, but between them, water is sort of trapped in an eddy. And Eddie doesn't like that one bit. The net result is that less of the surface of the shark is interacting with the faster flow. This means less drag and more efficient swimming. Listen, you try to swim in drag. Your boa gets all tangled, and never mind the petticoat. Now, the short-fin mako is the fastest shark, reaching speeds of 70 to 100 kilometers an hour. They have special denticles. If water begins to curl backwards on their skin, creating drag, their denticles pop up and trap that backward flowing water, which reduces the drag and lets them swim faster.
So the denticles are flexible so that they can greater create laminar flow. That's pretty cool. I've never known that.
But having your body covered in teeth has some other benefits. I mean, it's like having a little coat of armor. The whale shark, for example, has an interesting challenge. Its eyes protrude from the sides of its head. You know you're gonna bump those into the corner of a coffee table. So you know what they did? They put some armor right on their eyeballs, so they can take a scratch or two. And if that's not enough, they can also retract their eyeball into their head.
I didn't know
you could
that.
lose a ping pong ball in that hole. Want to see it from the inside? Ready? Yoink. Now, other fish figured out that if you rub against the grain, those denticles can be used as an exfoliator. Scratchy, scratchy. I mean, it comes with some risks, I suppose. It's like using a lion's mane for a hand towel. Personally, I prefer my conveniences be a bit farther from a set
they're
of...
scratching off parasites on the shark? That's so funny. I feel like you could just... Well, I guess coral will sting you if you're not immune. You could find a rock, right? Surely there's a rock. Surely it's more convenient to not rub yourself against something that is capable of consuming you.
...of teeth. Now, in some sharks, denticles seem to play a very different sort of role. These sharks have photophores, cells that can create light. In fact, a shark, the kitefin shark, is the largest bioluminescent vertebrate.
Cool.
Oftentimes, they have a lot of these photophores down on their underpants, so that when you look up at them, they blend in with the light coming down from above. You can hide from other sharks or something that you plan on eating. The denticles that surround these photophores seem to act like little light diffusers, creating a more even glow. Other sharks can glow, but in a different way. Two species of cat shark have cells that fluoresce, meaning that they don't generate light, but rather they take in one wavelength of light and use it to emit a different wavelength of light. In this case,
so
they
sick.
take in blue.
Bioluminescent stuff is so sick. I think I just missed this. I just found out about there being bioluminescent kayaking in Maine. You can go and like kayak through bioluminescent algae and such, or bacteria. That's so cool. I missed it for this year, but it's definitely going to be on my list to do next summer. And there's a warm. Guess who's in Maine right now? Are you doing it, Elbow? Are you doing the bioluminescent kayaking? I don't know if the season's over yet or it will be soon, but yeah, I was not able to. It'll be cool though. I hope to do that.
And spit out green. You can see that some of these denticles are transparent, allowing the light to shine through. Even their eggs glow. Now, this sort of glowing seems to be more about visual communication between the sharks. Males and females have different patterns, and it's possible that other fish can't see this light that they emit. So the cat shark can be camouflaged for an ambush, but perfectly visible to a potential mate. Like cracking a glow stick at a rave to get someone's attention. Now,
I've never heard about in any other animal. I'm trying to think of a precedent where you can be visible to mates but camouflage to prey and predators. I'm trying to think of an example of another animal that does that, and I can't think of anything. It's actually really intelligent.
Close, sharks do rely on their vision.
The problem is that's so complicated evolutionarily, because not only do you have to adapt the ability to glow, but you have to adapt the eyes to see the glowing. And either one of them is useless without the other one, right? Like if you glow but your mates can't see it, there's no point. And if your mates can see the glow but no one glows, then there's also no point. So how did these things evolve together? Like it doesn't make any sense. Evolution is so confusing in that way, because both of these things individually are worthless, but they're useful when you put them together. So it's like, how did that possibly present an advantage at some point in evolution? So crazy.
Communicate and to hunt. But sometimes the water can get murky, and some things that are delicious bury themselves under the sand. To help with this, sharks have another set of sensory organs. Right there, all those little holes that look like a 5 o'clock shadow. Those are ampullae.
Ampullae Lorenzini. Crap, I was trying to pause the video so that I could say it. Ampullae Lorenzini. I had a test on this in my ichthyology class in our lab practical. Flipped a shark upside down, and a dead shark, and pointed at the holes and was like, what are those? And that was like question 9 on the test.
Of Lorenzini, the second most fun to say organ, right behind islets of Langerhans. The little pores lead to canals which are filled with a conductive jelly. Looks a bit like Vaseline when you squeeze it out. I mean, I'd be doing that all day. Nerve fibers are in contact with the jelly and can sense small changes in electrical potential or voltage. Now, living things have electrical fields around them which can change when charged ions move suddenly between membranes, like when you flex a muscle, for example. Even shark babies can sense changes in this electrical field. Watch this one.
Sir,
the
yes,
electrical
sir.
field is about to be turned on. There, look at that. Becomes completely motionless. Hammerheads have a whole bunch of these sensors up front on their face where evolution stepped on them. Now, the sawfish is not a shark, it's a ray, which is closely related. It has sensors all up and down that front bit, its rostrum. It certainly comes in handy when your eyes are on the top and your mouth's on the bottom. It uses that rostrum sort of
They're
like
so big. If you don't have a concept of how big these fish get and you see one in person, I saw one, what aquarium was it? I think it was the Baltimore Aquarium. They're so big.
old man with a metal detector, out there alone, sweeping it back and forth.
Swims by you and it's like twice your size and you're like, holy shit. I thought this thing was like, stingray size.
Sometimes doesn't even turn it on, just doesn't want to say hi to people. Anyway, if the rostrum does detect something, conveniently it doubles as a weapon. And listen, it uses it exactly like you would if you had one of those things. Wah, 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 wah! On guard! Yeah, 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 yeah. And if they're not slicing at it, they can use their rostrum to press their prey against the ocean floor until they can slurp it up. Now, unlike sawfish, sharks often don't have something to push up against when they catch their food. I mean, eating underwater can be challenging with your food floating around like that. Look at those 2 little fish. They're out on a risky first date.
They're probably avoiding doing some sort of flow thing too. I wonder if something about the way the shark is swimming, if that helps them conserve energy, because they're way too small to be moving that fast normally, it feels like.
If you've ever bobbed for apples, then you know what it's like to have a mouthful of other people's saliva. You also know that in water it can be difficult to get things in your mouth without the use of hands. But sharks have figured out a few ways to go about it. One approach is called ram feeding, sort of a floating orifice or fleshlight of the sea, perhaps fellatio as yet unrealized. It's essentially just opening your mouth and swimming. But that's different than what this whale shark is doing, which is called suction feeding. Stop it. It repeatedly opens its mouth and creates negative pressure, sucking in water and the tiny things that it eats. Also bubbles. They like the bubbles. I imagine it's sort of like underwater pop rocks or some sort of extreme whale shark diet. No, seriously, it fills you up. Now don't start thinking that it's all soft up front like grandma's gums. Even whale sharks have 6,000 tiny, tiny teeth. They just stopped using them. Many other sharks, of course, do use their chompers. It's a good set of utensils to have if your leftovers are larger than you are. And listen, if you spend a lot of time chasing something, it's good to be able to hold on when you catch up. One of the most impressive, though, is the cookie cutter shark. There it is, with the old number 2.
Cookie cutter shark almost started a nuclear war. The two living things in the world that have been the closest to causing a nuclear war are John F. Kennedy and the cookie cutter shark. Take that fact in for a second.
I mean the pencil, not like... Alright, doesn't look that bad, does it? Here's what it looks like from the bottom. Mutant zombie penis vibes. Their bottom teeth are fused, and their mouths appear to be able to create suction. Their bites look like someone used an ice cream scoop. A lot of people say these sharks spin to create that shape, but there's no evidence for that, and it's probably bullshit. Anyway, other sharks, like those in the genus Squatina, got tired of the chase. They bury themselves, naked, face down, sand in your naughty bits, just saying. But if a fish comes along, it's f***ed. I know what you're saying.
What was the fish? Quick, identify the fish, chat.
Your naughty bits, just saying. But if a fish comes along...
Trying to see the shape of the peritoneum. No, I'm talking about the fish that they catch. Peritoneum looks C-shaped. Identify the fish, chat. What are we looking at? hard to see because of the glare on the peritoneum, but it's definitely not square. No, this is definitely a silver side. I believe it's an Atlantic silver side based on the shape of the peritoneum, but I guess I would have to know the location. If the peritoneum was squared off, I'd consider rough silver side.
It's fucked. I know what you're saying. What happens when sharks get horny? It's the best segue. Well, I'll tell you forthwith. These are basking sharks, and it's thought that this circling is part of their mating behavior. You know, check out the tail you might want to get with. As with most fish, they can't talk, which actually probably makes it easier to flirt. They use signals, like the classic head bob. Yeah, I see you. And if they're into it, they might turn over and show you the rest of the package. It's quite cute, almost refined. With other sharks, it's more like trying to meet someone in a mosh pit at Coachella. It's a fucking mess. That guy knows. Foreplay can be a bit rough. Many sharks have a kink around biting. Get yourself a mouthful of fin. I mean, this right here looks downright romantic. And you can't blame them for trying to get a bit of grippage. You try having sex in the deep end with nothing to hold on to. You tell me what went where in the end. The male must insert his double penis. Jerry, it's not a double penis. They're called claspers. I know, but just because it looks like one doesn't mean
You know
it
what's
is.
crazy about claspers? Everyone's like, oh, they insert or whatever. Like, everyone assumes that it acts like a penis and that something comes out of the claspers. But the claspers are just like a highway. They're like an escalator of sperm. Probably the best way I could put it. The sperm just like goes down them like it's going down an escalator. It doesn't actually come out of the claspers.
I mean, if that were true, we'd be in a pickle. I mean, right there, pickles. You want a jar of dicks, Jerry? Anyway, claspers are modified fins. He's got two because it all goes down from the side. And with all this rolling around, you don't know what side you're going to be on. When inserted into the female's cloaca, the ends of the claspers in some species open up like a little umbrella, and a little siphon pumps water and sperm up in there. And soon enough, there'll be more little shark babies.
That's crazy.
Look at that turtle back there. I mean, that's a dirty turtle. What else? What do you mean, Jerry? Oh, you mean if things that look like penises were actually penises? Well, your fingers for one, and the number one for...
Fish porn. Yeah, it was straight up fish porn. Maybe we don't include that in the final cut, Ghost Boy. Maybe we don't include the sharks fucking in the final cut. Who knows? You know, I mean, hey, it's up to you, man, but... Alright, that is going to be enough for me today. I'm sick, so I would like to chill, and, you know, I'm working tonight, and tomorrow night, and Wednesday night, so I would like to chill. So, have a good night. Hope you enjoyed. See you soon. Bye-bye.